Can Bitcoin go to zero? Bitcoin's volatility absolutely terrifies most people. Bitcoin started 2017 around $1,000. It went all the way to 19,000, then crashed back down to 3,000 at the end of 2018. Then in 2020, it went from March 2020 low of around $3,000 to $69,000 in 2021, and then it crashed down to $16,000 in 2022. Bitcoin's price is certainly extremely volatile, but the long-term trend is up in a massive way. But nothing is perfect or guaranteed. We're on Earth and we're all imperfect humans. Even Bitcoin has, and probably still has, some flaws. It started with an inflation bug. It started with no block size limit. Bitcoin had major issues when it first started, and it could have major issues today nobody can see yet. But what are the real potential risks to Bitcoin? How could Bitcoin fail? What could end NGU technology and send Bitcoin to zero? Well, suddenly broken cryptography is one way Bitcoin breaks. If ECDSA breaks due to an unknown vulnerability or the rapid discovery of quantum computers, then Bitcoin could break. If everyone immediately could reverse engineer anyone's private keys, then all Bitcoin are simultaneously owned by everyone, which effectively means everyone owns nothing. Of course, if this did occur rapidly, then the internet would be broken, nuclear launch codes would be at risk, and the world would have major issues on hand. If this happens slowly, as most researchers expect, then Bitcoin and other critical systems can slowly upgrade to more secure, tested cryptography as needed. Another risk to Bitcoin is that we're simply wrong about money. If for some reason most people don't want to hold perfectly scarce, portable, durable, divisible, and fungible money, then maybe people don't want to hold Bitcoin. This is a critical assumption that people will prefer to hold money that other people can't print. To me, this is an obvious yes, but it's possible I'm missing something. A third risk is an unknown technical bug. This one seems very unlikely from my perspective, but not because there are no longer bugs, more so that the bugs that we find are fixable. Like I mentioned earlier, Bitcoin has had many bugs, but they get fixed. You need some sort of unfixable bug, which would be like cryptography irreversibly breaking, like I mentioned, or something else that I cannot even foresee. A fourth risk is mining does, in fact, become permanently captured by a regulatory body as the block subsidy dwindles down to zero. I also see this as a very low probability as individual miners are becoming more decentralized. Their natural incentive is to find the cheapest wasted energy all over planet Earth. And there is a natural market incentive to eventually overcome any attacks, the fee market and the mempool, if you're getting censored by miners. You just increase your fee rate to encourage honest miners to include your transaction in a block. A final risk is a global thermonuclear war, a major pandemic, or a terrible natural disaster, or simply the end of times. All of these are certainly possible. If the world is ending, then all money is worthless. There's no point in saving for the future on Earth if you have no future on Earth. So overall, there are many ways Bitcoin can fail. But from my perspective, they are all very low probability. It's possible I'm missing something, and if so, let me know. But I haven't quite found a very serious material long-term risk to Bitcoin. But the long-term risks to fiat money, individual public equities, corporate bonds, and government bonds, well, there are many real long-term risks to all of these. It's much more likely that wealth outside of Bitcoin will actually go to zero before Bitcoin itself. Any asset you hold with leverage or counterparty risk could be wiped out in a dollar financial crisis like 2000, 2008, or 2020, if the Federal Reserve and the US government don't come in fast enough. This means real estate, public equities, and bonds all trend to zero if the market starts crashing to zero. In this scenario, you're looking for an asset without counterparty risk, which is exactly what Bitcoin is. This is one thing that's so unique about Bitcoin. If the financial system or legal system implodes for some catastrophic reason, you still hold your Bitcoin, and one Bitcoin is still worth one Bitcoin. In this case, Bitcoin stands as a great hedge against extreme future uncertainty, and it stands as an optimistic bet on humanity, as it will also do relatively well in a world of AI, advancing productivity, and global abundance. So can Bitcoin go to zero? Yes, of course, but expecting it to go to zero is a fool's bet. Thanks for watching, everyone, and see you next time.